Hi there, sixth grade families. This is Ms. Stevens, and welcome to sixth grade English. First and foremost, I thank you for understanding that I was unable to be at back to school night this year, and so I appreciate your flexibility. So let's get started. First of all, who is teaching your children? First and foremost, I'm a proud mom of one daughter. This is Isabella. Um, and she is a lifer. She graduated Liggett with 2 years ago with the class of 2022. She is now a sophomore at Colby College in Maine. There's Colby's library right there. It's a beautiful day, sunny day. I think she's double majoring in Spanish and something else. We have to figure that out though. I started at Liggett in 2001. I graduated from a women's college called Mount Holyoke College in Massachusetts in 1992. So you can do the math with a BA in English. And I also want to bring up the fact that at Liggett, we are afforded a lot of incredible professional development opportunities. Three of my favorites have been Harvard's Project Zero and Liggett's Center for Innovative Teaching and Learning. And then also, there's a school in Maine called the Center for Teaching and Learning, and it's based in the reading writing workshop model, which is what we base our English program on. I talk about the professional development that we receive because it feeds in beautifully with what we value here at Liggett, and that's the six tenets of the Liggett approach. One of those being something that I really love. It's inquiry-based process and growth, where new questions are more valuable than old answers. And so when I was at Harvard Project Zero, we I learned about a technique called thinking routines, and you probably heard of these before. But one of them that we did, if I can get the screen to work here, the sixth graders just did this thinking routine the other day. The thinking routine is called the 3 Whys, and we were about to embark on individual reading. So I thought it was really important to ask them why does reading matter? Why does reading matter to me? Not to me personally, but to them personally. Why and then branch out and go from one person to a community, and then think about how reading matters to the world. And I had them write their thoughts down in their composition books, and then we discussed it. And some of the things that they brought to the table were really astute for sixth graders, and I was highly impressed. So during parent-teacher conferences, please ask to see their composition books because I think you'll really appreciate what they wrote. Another thing that I show them is this infographic about why reading matters, and to take a look at what happens when only 10 minutes a day is added to a student's reading. I'm not going to go over this. I do have this infographic that I will include in my email to you, but basically you get the gist of it. The more you read, the higher percentile rank you will be. The more words you will see, the better you will do in school. So reading in middle school is primarily free choice. They are allowed to choose books from my librarian-approved classroom collection. They will be receiving a library orientation eventually. I want to tell you that the books in my classroom range from lower school books to young adult and everything in between that is middle school. So a wide variety of books. I want to say that my message to you and the students is that if a book makes a student feel uncomfortable or if it misaligns with their family's values, they shouldn't be reading it. And I say that because I want to form a partnership with you in terms of what you would like your student to be reading and not reading. And I'm happy to work with you on that. Let me move this. Okay. The other thing I'd like you to know is that I choose texts for us in terms of poetry and short stories to read together. We use these for discussion and writing prompts, and they are very middle school appropriate. Um, so sometimes parents will ask, well, there are so many books. How in the world can you know every book? I don't. But I will tell you that through one-on-one conferences with students, it is very, very apparent when a student has not read a book or does not comprehend what she has read, because their answers are not detailed. They are, you know, falling over their words. So it is, I know when someone has understands something and when they have read it. I also keep notebook records on every single student, what titles they're reading inside of class and actually at home, because sometimes students like to have a book here at school and also at home, so they don't, so they always have a book here. I also use activities for accountability. So I have activities in Seesaw. I have them do podcasts talking about their books. I have them give book talks, and certainly we do short little discussions here and there. I also give them a reading comprehension diagnostic. When I say that, that might sound scary to some people. And certainly that's not the Leggett approach, but I do like to find out where they are. And so these diagnostics are only 15 minutes long, and I give them 3 times a year. And they are, leveled for sixth graders. Um, So, reading expectations. I expect them to bring a book to school or class every day. Like I said, they can leave a book in their locker if they wish. I do expect them to read for 20 minutes every single day, including holidays, including weekends. Now, um, so if they read 20 minutes in class in school, they ask if, oh, do I still have to read 20 minutes at home? I tell them that that's up to your parent, that's up to your families. If your family wants you to read another 20 minutes at home, even though you've had English class, then you listen to your families. Okay, there are a couple of whole class novels that we read in sixth grade. The first one is going to be The Barren Grounds, which was on the book list. We will do that in November. And then in May, one of my favorite all-time units is Greek mythology. And so we will start that then after we come back from Pleasant Lake. Plus, as I said before, we read other selected short stories and poems throughout the year. Writing. It is a process. I ask you to please let them make mistakes. I allow them to make multiple revisions. That's what we do as adults. And I feel that students should have the same ability to do that. So please let them make mistakes, and I will be their guide on the side. Some of the genres that we will work on are narratives, persuasive essays, expository essays, compare, contrast, poetry, podcasts, scripts, and etc. Um, we also do very short, quick writes in class. These are one and done things. Sometimes they're very silly prompts. Sometimes they're more thoughtful. These are handwritten in their comp books. Then, of course, we also have polished pieces that go through, oh boy, I'm sorry, that go through an editing, revision, and reflection. These are typed and they are stored in their Seesaw portfolio. You will be gaining access to their Seesaw. They have not yet logged in to their Seesaw for English. So the writing is usually completed in class. So please know that if you're not seeing writing come home, it's because I am working with them in class on the assignment. For vocabulary study, we use membeing.com. Some of you may know this from other children. I do, so this is the website, membeing.com. I require 20 minutes of practice per week, not per day, per week. It is due, I changed this. It used to be it was due every Sunday. I made this due every Friday at 5 p.m. so that students can leave for the weekend knowing that they've got it done, and they don't forget on Sunday night. This is what a learning page looks like. You'll see that there is a There's a pronunciation module on it. It gives the part of speech. There's a context clue. There's usually a fun video. There are roots and prefixes. This is this is an excellent, we've used this for a long time. If you are interested in checking it out yourself, send me an email, because just recently they have opened this to parents to check out and see. So if you're interested, it is actually a very fun way to study vocabulary. Maybe that's just my English teacher talking. Okay, grammar. We're going to be using Grammar Flip this year. The website is grammarflip.com. They log in using their Gmail accounts. It's self-paced. It's interactive. There are pre and post diagnostics that measure success. The thing that I really love is that it is grammar and context. It is not just separate worksheets, and it connects to their writing. There are writing prompts for each concept. I want to go through and actually show you what it looks like. And so we're sixth graders are starting at level 1 foundations. In order to review the basic grammar concepts and make sure there aren't any holes in their grammar foundation. So we start with common and proper nouns. We move on to capitalization. Proper nouns obviously tie into the concept of capitalization. We go through things like commas, items in a series, which is very big, verb phrases, action verbs versus linking verbs, hyphens, how to use colons, apostrophes are a big one, common homophones, commonly confused pairs. So hopefully that'll tie into spelling as well. Quotation marks versus italics. This is useful when we're talking about literature. And we're also, let's see, parts of speech versus parts of the sentence, dashes, parentheses, and this is my all-time favorite, run-on sentences, comma splices, and fragments. I see this all the time in middle school writing. So if we can tackle that, that's a huge win for us. Well, thanks for listening to this presentation. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask me. I love helping people and I love helping students. Have a great year.